Hey guys, welcome back to Python 101, and today we're on week 20, part 2, so yay! Okay, so, make sure to share my screen. I want to tell you that I did something big brain. So here I made Jupyter Notebook on my Chrome, so I don't have to switch pages each time. So basically what I did, I went to settings and then changed the default browser to Chrome. If you guys already have that as Chrome, then you don't have to worry. So let's go to a new thing. We call it Python 101 week 20 part 2. So now we're going to do something interactive. So we're going to use interact. We will begin to learn about using dashboard like GUI with IPython widgets. So the interact function, so IPyWidgets.interact automatically creates user interface UI or controls for exploring code and other data interactively. It's the easiest way to get started with IPython widgets. So yeah, so of course we're gonna have to import some things. So from IPyWidgets, widgets, import, did I spell that right? Oh yeah, sure, interact and fixed. We're gonna use fixed later. And then we're gonna import IPyWidgets as widgets. So there's something important to know, that the widgets in this notebook won't show up on MB Viewer or GitHub renderings. To view the widgets and interact with them, you need to download this notebook and run it as a Jupyter Notebook server. So basically, stay on Jupyter Notebook. It's for your own health. So now that we got this settled, let's start using basic interact. So at the most basic level, interact auto-generates UI controls for the function arguments. And then, well, it calls the function with those arguments when you manipulate and control them interactively. To use interact, you need to define a function that you want to explore. Here's an example that prints its only argument, which is x. So it's going to be a very basic function. We're literally just going to call it f, and then here's the argument x. We're going to return x. Now, when you pass this function as the first argument to interact along with an integer keyword argument, which is, x equals 10 or 20 or 90, a slider is generated and bound to the function parameter. Note that the semicolon here just prevents an out cell from showing up. Now, if we try to generate it, interact f, and then x equals, let's say, 20, you get this. So if you get an error, just make sure you imported it. And right now you could just control how fast or how much you want it. And this is -20, this goes to 60, and all that fun stuff. And 0 would be around a third of the way. So yeah, so if it says failed to display Jupyter widget of type interactive, then it may mean that the widget's JavaScript is still loading. If this message keeps going on, it might mean that the JavaScript library is not installed or it's not enabled. So then you just have to go to the python.com. Python.com. Oh my god, Python website. Okay, so this is python.org. Okay, I thought it was python.com. So it's python.org, and then here you could just check out what you want. So now we got this thing working. let's do another one. So if we want to do true or false, we get a checkbox. So interactive, no, it's just interactive is something else. F, and then let's see, X equals true. It's gonna give you a checkbox, and then X equals false if you uncheck it. Now, to make things easier to understand, let me just make some spaces, comment this out, and we're gonna write, let's see, we're gonna label them. So this is gonna generate a slider. This is a slider to interact with. Now that's that. Oh, and by the way, if you didn't notice, so X, when you set X as 20, it's basically the midpoint of that. So if you do that 100, this is the midpoint, and then you could, so it's basically the midpoint. Now here, if you use Booleans, you just get a checkbox, which is why, well, it's not like they're uncool, it's just, they're boring. Boring is the right word. So we're gonna comment this out, we're gonna write Booleans generate checkboxes. Don't want to spell boxes wrong. And here we are, and then you can uncheck it. Now, if it says failed to display Jupyter widget of type interactive, then you just do the same thing you did. You go to python.org, not python.com. You just go to python.org. Speaking of which, what is python.com? Oh, nope. Let's not go there. So, next up. Now, interact can also be used as a decorator. This allows you to define a function and interact with it in a single shot, as this example shows. So, yeah. So now we're gonna use a decorator. I'm gonna do @interact, remember? So decorator is just, you have this @ symbol. You do X equals true, and then Y equals 1.0. You're gonna use that as a float. And then you're gonna define, let's see, T of X and Y. And then we're gonna return X and Y. Now, it's gonna give you a slider with both checkbox and a slide. Cool, right? Now you can use a decorator to include several things. Now you can also make this 21, and here's 21. And then there's checkbox, so it kind of makes it as a tuple. You can also make it Y, X. Oh wait, you have to change that to Y, X. And now it's flipped. So see, even the order of the pictures is flipped. So Y and X. That's pretty simple. Once again, if you are encountering errors saying you can't display it, please go check the documents. And make sure you go to python.org, okay, people? Don't go to python.com. It's bad for you kids. Now, next up, we're gonna talk about fixing arguments with fixed. So remember when I said we imported fixed? Well, we're gonna use it right now. So there are times when you may want to explore a function using interact, but fix one or more of its arguments to specific values. This can be accomplished by wrapping values with a fixed function. We're gonna go here, hit a few spaces. Now we're gonna create another simple function. We're gonna define and then X and Y. Now we're gonna return X and Y. When we call interact, we pass fixed 20 for Q to, or for X to hold it at a fixed value of 20. So we're gonna call it interact, and then we can do H, which is the function name. We're gonna call X equals 5 and Y equals fixed 20. So now you can see that the Y will always be fixed, hence the name, yet the X is changeable. So here you can make it blah, blah, blah. Oh, no. Here's a big number. Imagine that's how many subscribers I have. That'd be great. No, not negative, not negative. Look, even like that much would be amazing. Or let's not even go here. All right, so I'm gonna bet I'll never reach this number. Oh, and by the way, if you click on the square, you can change it. Ooh, don't add extra symbols. Oh, okay, and you can't really change it because here you have it here. Now, if it says once again to failed, well, you know the drill. So that's kind of that. That's how you use it. Finally, last but not least, widget abbreviations. Oh, and by the way, this is only the first part to widgets. Widgets is a very large topic. All right, so when you pass an integer valued keyword argument of 10 or x equals 10 to interact, it generates an integer valued slider to control at a range of negative 10 and then 3 times 10. In this case, 10 is an abbreviation for an actual slider widget. So basically this. So right now it says int slider isn't here. That's because, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work. But other times it works plenty well. But right now we're just not gonna use that because it's not right. All right, so this example clarifies how interact processes its keyword arguments. If the keyword argument is a widget instance with a value attribute, that widget is used. Any widget with a value attribute can be used, even custom ones. Otherwise, the value is treated as a widget abbreviation that is converted to a widget before it is used. The next table, well, it was supposed to be there, gives an interview of different widget abbreviations. So let me open that. Oh, there we go. And then when we do that, we're gonna that's odd. Okay, so it was, hold on. Okay. So there was this picture. Sorry, I need to. Oh yeah, so I could just add this and then paste. Okay, so here we go. Here is the thing I wanted to show you guys. And so basically the keyword arguments are true or false, and then it's going to give you a checkbox. Hi there, it's going to give you a text, or just anything. It's going to give you a text. Value or minimum value steps. If integers are passed, it's going to be an int slider, and depending on if it's an integer or a float, it's going to give you an int or float slider. And then here it's going to either like dictionary style or list dictionary or list style. That's going to give you a drop down. So now we're going to explore on these things, and yeah, let's get it. So now we're gonna use interact. Where's interact? We're gonna f x equals widgets dot int slide. Remember the one I couldn't. Well, int slider, I guess. Int slider, not int slide there. Dear God, and then its minimum value is going to be, let's say, -20, and then its max value would be equal to 50, and then its step, so basically how far do you want to jump between each thing? I'm going to do 5. And then you could do value. It's going to be equal to, let's say, 30. So now let's add a semicolon here, and here we go. So basically the value it starts at is going to be 50 or 30. So that's that. And then if you want to do 300, which is not available, it's just going to go to the maximum number. And that's kind of that. Next up. Next up. Note that a drop-down is used if half a list or a dictionary is given, signifying discrete choices, and a slider is used if a tuple is given, signifying a range. So this is talking about the, so yeah, I'm talking about this. If you have seen how the checkbox and text area widgets work above, here more details will be, given. Now, we're gonna interact f and then x equals 04. Now it's just gonna do that, simple. Interact f x equals to, now I'm gonna give you the format because why not? So the format here is just basically minimum value, maximum value, and step. Oh yeah, I forgot to add those. So basically that. So like okay, apparently you have to do this number is bigger than that, and then you can move it. There we go. So that's that. And basically you can use floats, you can use all that stuff. Now we're gonna use a, what's it called? Yes, a decorator. Yay. If you got it wrong, you got it wrong. If you got it right, you got it right. Good job if you got it right. You're smart. So now we're gonna do x equals, using the 3 numbers here, min, max, and step. So min is gonna be 0.0, and then it's gonna be 20.0, and then it's gonna be 0.5. Oh yeah, now we have to define stuff. So h x equals 5.5, and then just return x. So here's our thing, you know. That's that. That's the float thing. And yeah, so here's the list. So we're gonna interact f and then x equals oranges. And then it's gonna do Joe. Yeah, and then you can do that. So that's very useful. You know how those like what's it called? Those games. Yeah. So games, they have like different servers and stuff. So here you can just do server, and then if you want the server to be in California, and then here you want to be in North Carolina, you could just change it like that. Bada bing, bada bam. But wait, there's more. Interact. You can do that with F, and then I said dictionaries. So we're gonna do x equals 1, and then we're gonna do 10, and then we're gonna do 2, and then we're gonna do 20. Don't forget that. And it's gonna give you the same thing, but you know, who cares? So that's that. I hope you guys don't really need to remember this, but yes, you do. So yes, you do. Don't forget what I just said. Yes, you do. So that's that, and hope you guys have a great day. Now, you know what time it is. Yes. It's that time. Now, remember, you have to do this. Yes. Press the red button that's supposed to be here. Now I'm gonna show you. So you press, oh, this one's better. You press this button that's supposed to be here, and it's supposed to say yes. It's supposed to look like that, kind of. And then you press it, and it's gonna turn grayish. So thank you. Oh, and I just did this. It has music in it, so don't worry. And just like this. So yeah, it's just that. By the way, so there's gonna be a new video like almost every week, and I'll see you there. Thank you for subscribing one last time. Thank you. And if you're already subscribed, you're an amazing guy or guy.